Attention passengers continuing to Tokyo on Flight 712 from San Diego. We have been informed of a delay of approximately 1 hour. We regret any inconvenience this may cause. Mahalo.
This is going to be fun. It's been so long. I really used to enjoy our weekends together. I think they did too. When I first took the job over here, I told myself, this will be less disruptive for the kids. Well, now I know it was about me. Seeing her was just too hard. God, I loved her. What happened? We met that summer working together, fell head over heels in love, eloped a week later, felt so right. But it was my senior year in college, and my parents definitely would not have approved. So we had to keep it a secret. The letters flew back and forth. That was a lonely year.
Cisco is on time. You'll be disembarking. 8, 2, 3,
This place brings back a lot of memories. Our first trip over, we were just little kids. We were used to being on our own, walking the half mile to the bus stop or playing in the woods, but flying all alone 3,000 miles back before jumbo jets. That was superhero stuff. It was a really big deal.
Hey, you made it. Aloha. Welcome to paradise.
I made it. Aloha back.
Sarah's plane is about an hour late for this little reunion, so we have some time to catch up.
Okay, but I gotta get my bags.
They're calm. Come on, let's sit.
I was just thinking about our first trip over.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
It was huge. I remember everything.
I'm not sure if I do.
Never were the sentimental type.
Life goes on. Why dwell on the past?
Like it's a virtue to forget the past.
You say so.
You know that I used to think you were a spy? You know when you were a private eye? It was cool. Not too many dads had a two-way radio in their car. I was a little disappointed when I found out you were mostly just taking pictures, waiting to catch people cheat. When you became an insurance adjuster, I didn't know what that meant, but it didn't seem very glamorous.
It certainly wasn't, but it was a living. The best perk was when the company sent me over here. They shipped all my furniture and my car. It was like I was an insurance missionary bringing liability protection to the savages.
You were in good hands with Allstate.
Your first time over, I hadn't seen you guys for months.
My age, it seemed like years. We had these travel kits that Mom and Dad made for us. You know, Bob. He had charted out our flight path, even marked where we might see a weather ship if we were lucky. We looked the whole way, but we only saw clouds. He had cut his old Navy belt down to fit me. Wearing it, I felt like I was on some kind of special mission.
Special mission. Bob. I hadn't seen Bob since college, and he was a horn dog back then. Then he shows up after the Navy and his divorce, tan and fit, and one night over drinks at our place, he says to me, "One day I'll this. Little did it occur to me that he meant my family. My family.
We soared in over Pearl Harbor, landed with a skid, and rolled to a stop. From the flight crew, we heard our first Hawaiian words, aloha, mahalo. Stepped out into the bright, Umeri-scented afternoon. Our uniformed escort led us to our waiting father, who greeted us with colorful leis and awkward hugs. We gathered our bags, and he took us to the car. He had traded in his Bug for a used Porsche convertible. I was just thinking about your Porsche.
Now that I do remember. She was a beauty. After I graduated from college, we had our official wedding and set up house. Then I started grad school. I was sure I had the soul of an artist. Well, at least I knew I had good taste. And then, working, I held off a real job. I was working part-time. Then we got pregnant.
Metal flake, blue-gray with a fresh wax job, streamlined and sparkling. Hey, I don't suppose you remember these glamour shots.
Huh. You still have these?
Why wouldn't I, Mr. Sentimental? Read the back of that one.
If this car is still around when you turn 16, it's yours. If you'll give your sister a ride. Sounds like a pretty good deal. Sorry, it just cost too much to maintain. Remember when we saw it at a stoplight and it was fully restored?
Yes, I do. I was 16.
Remember your first time over, I gave you a diving watch, and then you never wanted to take it off.
Of course I remember. I still have it. The band was too big for me. I was always afraid I might lose it. It seems so tiny now. That first trip over was really fun. Swimming in the warm ocean, eating tons of fruit, driving around with the top down, the wind blowing our hair. Those of us who had hair.
Hey,
We got burned, lobster red, and then peeled to those deep tropical tans.
all three of us sleeping in one bed, sand everywhere.
I loved Hawaii. After body surfing all day, I would fall asleep with the waves just etched in my senses. The ocean pushing, pulling me. Water in my ears, and then I would wake up wet. I was so ashamed.
You ruined my mattress. I got so pissed off. I tried everything. Why couldn't he have gone in the right place? Oh, that and his sister's incessant finger sucking. Man, that really got on my nerves. We had to sell the MG to carry the baby stuff. I loved that car. Then it was yard work and commuting and long hours and less fun. I love the kids, I guess, but
I guess.
they were always talking. Always demanding. Always wanting my attention. Chief, my attention? I just wanted to hang out.
Bob didn't like my bedwetting either. Told me I should just grow up. He was really smart. He taught us stuff. He could even fix TVs, but he just didn't get it.
After she fell to Bob's charms, she was confused. And then she left, and I drank and hurt myself.
There were some really big changes. But nobody ever tells kids anything. By kindergarten, I was sort of the quiet type.
You know, when I first came over here, I never heard from you guys or your mother. She never replied to my letters, and you kids didn't offer much. You know, then I got laid off, and I was broke. I got it. She resented me not sending child support.
Yeah. How did you get away with that?
Oh, my guess. Well, she was just too nice to go after me. That, and I was living in another state. You know, I figured with Bob's salary, they were doing well enough. Better than I was anyway. After the divorce, I was a little lonely.
You never told me that. And you never told me much of anything. Did you know that I couldn't stand school? We moved so many times, it was impossible to fit in or learn anything. You always bugged me to write, like I had anything to say. Hello? Baggage?
No, you never told me that. But we got along well enough, didn't we? I took you to all the coolest spots on the island. It got harder and harder to see you go. And I enjoyed you more as you got older. We were almost like family.
When Mom divorced Bob, and he became Robert, she told us, if you want to, you can call me Peter. Almost felt like I went from having two dads to having none.
Hey, here comes your baggage. Hope you didn't bring too much.